Hello everyone, welcome to Bajirao IAS Academy, the Hindu News Analysis. Today is 2nd July 2025, and today we have some very important topics for the discussion. So, one by one, we'll try to discuss all these important topics in a very detailed and in-depth manner. And I hope that this discussion will be helpful for your prelims and mains examinations. So, without any further delay, let's get into the discussion. And the first article which has been given in the Hindu newspaper, and this article talks about how technology can be leveraged to empower women and children. And in fact, this article is very important for your general studies paper too. So therefore, we'll try to discuss this in a very detailed manner. And in fact, in India, technology has started playing a very important role in almost like every domain. And now technology also have a lot of important applications in women empowerment as well as empowerment of children. And therefore, this particular article, so it highlights the digital transformation. And this digital transformation is led by Ministry of Women and Child Development. And in fact, there are a lot of initiatives that are launched by the Ministry of Women and Child Development in India. So for example, Saksham Anganwadi, Poshan Tracker, She Box, and Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana. So in fact, all these programs that we have just talked about are the technology based initiatives. Technology plays a very important role in the success or better implementation of all these important programs. And technology has been enabling efficient, transparent and inclusive service delivery. Now when I say inclusive service delivery, so the services provided by the services which are provided to the people as part of all these important schemes, so they are taken to almost like every section of the society. So therefore it has been enabling the inclusive, transparent and efficient service delivery, so thereby fostering health, safety and empowerment of not just women but also children. And we have an ambitious goal, that is we wanted to become a developed country or Viksit Bharat by the year 2047. And technology can actually achieve empowerment of women and children, and it will also play a very important role in achieving the goal of Viksit Bharat by the year 2047. And it's not just about India becoming a developed country by the year 2047. We also have an ambitious agenda, which is the Sustainable Development Goals 2030 agenda. So we should also achieve all major sustainable development goals by the year 2030. So technology will play enabling role in achieving the SDGs by the year 2030. And in fact, so the technology enabling empowerment of women and children, so in fact it has resulted in a paradigm of access and empowerment of important schemes to both women and children. Because when we talk about the empowerment, right, so what does empowerment actually means? So empowerment is fundamentally linked to access, whether a person is having access to all necessary government schemes, all benefits, right? So empowerment is essentially linked to what? It essentially linked to access. So access to rights, access to services, access to entitlements, protection and opportunities. This is talking about access, right? So empowerment is access, and technology has been playing an enabling role when it comes to ensuring access. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been rightly emphasizing on the vision of becoming a developed country or a Viksit Bharat by the year 2047. And in fact, in recent times, last 1 or 2 decades, India has seen a democratization of access. Now everyone is getting access to the government schemes and government programs because of technology, and that is what is called as democratization of access, irrespective of race, caste, the financial status. So everyone have been getting access to the digital services or the government programs. So that is democratization of access, and this is possible through the digital public infrastructure. So largely technology has been playing a very important role, a very key role in achieving the access and empowerment of children and women. And in fact, so digital governance, now digital governance fundamentally depends on technology, and this digital governance is considered as engine of empowerment. So empowerment of various sections, but here the digital governance is engine of empowerment, because now once we used to consider several things as aspirational goals that we would like to achieve in very near future. So those aspirational goals include the last mile service delivery, real time transparency. So these are the aspirational goals that once we set, so that we can achieve those goals. But the last mile service delivery and real time transparency are now operational realities, and this is possible through the technology, right? So whether it is last mile service delivery or real time transparency in governance, they are possible because of the technology. So technology has been playing an enabling role, and it ensuring access to the government schemes and benefits, and that's how it leads to the empowerment of women and children. And in fact, in recent times, the digital solutions, so they have strengthened the nutrition access, thereby reducing the maternal mortality rate and infant mortality rates in India, and reducing the malnutrition rates in India. And similarly, it has been providing educational services, healthcare services, legal services, right? So all these essential services are accessed by the people because of technology has been playing an enabling role. So these are these six components of the good governance. And in fact, whenever you are writing an answer about the good governance or e-governance, so you must draw this diagram. So it talks about transparency, accountability, rule of law, responsive, equitable and inclusive, and consensus oriented. So these are the six fundamental components of good governance. And in fact, now Saksham Anganwadi. So Saksham Anganwadi is a program, and that has been digitally empowering the grassroots, because the Saksham Anganwadi program has been launched to modernize the Anganwadi centers. We all knew that what is the purpose of the Anganwadi centers? To make sure that every child receives early childhood care and education, and this is one of the directive principles of state policy. So in order to ensure every child gets early childhood care and education, the Saksham Anganwadi program has been launched. And in fact, so it aims to modernize around 2 lakh Anganwadi centers, right? So every Anganwadi center require necessary infrastructure, and the infrastructure would be developed as part of Saksham Anganwadi program. So in fact, the infrastructure development in 2 lakh Anganwadi centers, including smart infrastructure, digital services such as for Anganwadi staff, tablets and smartphones will be given, and learning tools and modules for early childhood care and education would be given, so that all Anganwadi centers would have necessary infrastructure for early childhood care and education. And similarly, so digital training for Anganwadi workers will also be provided as part of the Saksham Anganwadi scheme, because the digital training modules which are developed under Poshan B or Padhai B, So that focuses on nutrition for children, along with that education for the children, as well as part of the early childhood care and education, right? So this Poshan Bhi Padhai Bhi is a campaign, and it focuses on cognitive development, right? So a cognitive development, because when you give sufficient nutrition for a child, it will help develop the cognitive abilities and a play based learning for small kids as well. And in fact, so this also enables the workers to act as a nutrition guides, educators, and the digital facilitators in the rural areas. And in fact, this will also focus on skill development and job security for Anganwadi workers. And for most of the states, the problem with the Anganwadis is that the Anganwadi workers, so they don't have the skills which are necessary. Second major issue is they are lacking the job security as well. However, the Saksham Anganwadi program will not just focus on modernization of the Anganwadis, but it will also focus on skill development as well as job security for the Anganwadi workers. And in fact, the honorarium pay will also be revised, so that it will motivate the Anganwadi workers to work better, and it will also achieve the goal of Poshan Bhi and Padhai Bhi. And secondly, there is another important technology enabled initiative, which is Poshan Tracker. And this Poshan Tracker has been launched for a real-time nutrition monitoring. Now here, one thing that we should understand, that India is a country with a huge burden of malnourished people, particularly those kids who are below 5 years of age. And in India, there is a very high infant mortality rate as well as maternal mortality rate. So therefore, sustained and targeted interventions are required to address the problem of malnutrition. So for that, the government has launched Poshan Tracker for a real-time nutrition monitoring. And when we talk about the overview and reach of this Poshan Tracker, so it will be integrated with 14 lakh Anganwadi centers all across India. Right, so there will be a 14 lakh Anganwadi centers, and in 14 lakh Anganwadi centers, the Poshan Tracker will be deployed for the real-time nutrition monitoring. And a 10.14 crore beneficiaries will be registered. That includes pregnant women, lactating mothers, children who are 0 to 6 years of age who are receiving the early childhood care and education, and the adolescent girls as well. Because if you look at the people who have been suffering with anemia, so most of them are the girls, particularly the girls who are adolescent. So therefore, so this is also an important age group that has to be focused as part of the adequate nutrition. And the core functionalities of this Poshan Tracker, because understand the other thing is that for Poshan Tracker is also technology is an enabler, right? So technology is like a pillar for the Poshan Tracker. Now when we talk about the core functionalities of Poshan Tracker, so they include real-time data entry and performance monitoring. Right, so the data will be available about the nutrition that has been given to the various age groups. And secondly, it will result in data driven and evidence based policy making and interventions. Third, smartphones and training will be provided to the Anganwadi workers for digital data input, so that the Anganwadi workers will regularly monitor the nutrition. Right, and in fact, so there will be an award-winning governance tool also as part of the Poshan Tracker, because the Poshan Tracker has won Prime Minister's Award for Excellence in Public Administration in the year 2025 recently. And in fact, supplementary nutrition program is also part of the Poshan Tracker program, because it has been launched to reduce the leakages, and a two-way authentication system will authenticate the beneficiaries as well. And in fact, it also ensures that only eligible individuals receive the nutritional support, right? So this is how the portion tracker will ensure that those people who are malnourished will be given adequate nutrition. It also focuses on pregnant women, lactating mothers, and adolescent girls. And how technology will ensure empowerment of children as well. So this is also a main part of the article. Now, in fact, a portal called Caring's portal. So Caring portal also excessively depends on the technology, because it essentially a child adoption resource information and guidance system, and this has been launched under a statutory law called Juvenile Justice Care and Protection Act of 2015. And in fact, it digitally transforms adoption, because this carings will make adoption more transparent, time bound, and it will be accessible as well. And in fact, it will also result in enhanced monitoring as well, right? So it will enhance the oversight over the child care institutions, foster care placement, and the statutory support systems. And Mission Vatsalya dashboard. So this Mission Vatsalya dashboard, so this also depends on technology, and this dashboard will track child protection services, the budgetary allocations, convergence among different stakeholders, so that the existing schemes, the policies will be efficiently implemented. And it will also promote collaborative governance architecture over state authorities, NGOs, and the judiciary, right? So this is how a technology will play an enabling role, ensuring access to all the services for the children as well. So along with the women, so the technology will also empower the children as well, right? So I hope you have understood this particular topic. And next, a very important topic is employment linked incentive scheme. And this employment linked incentive scheme has been launched by the Union Budget 24-25 by our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. So therefore, we'll understand what is this employment linked incentive scheme and how this scheme will benefit us. So we'll be understanding this. Now recently, the Union Cabinet has approved this employment linked incentive scheme. Now, in India, unemployment is a major problem. So there is unemployment because we don't have adequate skilled workforce. There is a huge unemployment in India because excessive workforce still engages with the agriculture sector. However, a service sector from which majority of our GDP generates, so it is not a labor intensive sector. But on the other hand, the manufacturing sector or the industrial sector is a labor intensive sector, but we are not able to generate adequate employment from the manufacturing sector. So this employment linked incentive scheme will focus on manufacturing. It focuses on the labor intensive industries, right? So I hope it is clear for you the context. And recently the Union Cabinet has approved this employment linked incentive scheme, and this will boost formal job creation, especially in the manufacturing sector, because manufacturing sector is known as the labor intensive sector, right? So in order to create mass employment opportunities, mass and gainful employment opportunities for India's youth, we must encourage manufacturing sector, particularly the labor intensive manufacturing sector. So we should also focus on MSME sector as well. And this actually represents one of the most significant policy changes in recent years, which aimed at employment generation, right? So it focuses on employment generation. Now we have to talk about the budget initiative, because this is a budget initiative that has been launched in the year 2024-25 under Prime Minister's Employment and Skilling Package. So thereby sending a strong message that government still remains committed for job creation and skill development in India. So for the development of skills, a lot of programs have been launched by the government, but the problem is that those programs are not properly implemented. Now, what are the key features of this employment incentive scheme? So this employment incentive scheme will offer wage subsidy. So it offers a 1 month of EPF wage up to 15,000 in 2 installments, so thereby encouraging the formal employment. Now in India, majority of the workforce still engaged in the unorganized or informal sector. Now it is important that we need to encourage the formal employment because it provides social security, it provides job security, it will reduce the poverty, and it will also ensure better wages for the workers and better working conditions as well. So therefore it is very important that we need to promote the formal employment opportunities for India's workforce. Now, what is the eligibility? Now, those employees who are earning up to 1 lakh rupees a month and a newly registered company under EPFO or employees under EPFO, so thereby promoting transition from an informal to formal employment. Remember, I've already mentioned the advantages of the benefits of formal employment. And in India, it is very important that government should encourage the formal employment. Now, if you carefully look at the incentive structure that is provided by the government, so first installment will be provided after 6 months, and second installment will be provided after 12 months, and the financial literacy training, so thereby ensuring a sustained formal employment in the manufacturing sector. And in fact, a portion of incentive will be deposited in a fixed account so that it will promote the long-term savings and ultimately enhancing the financial security for the employees. And even payments which are directly transferred via the direct benefit transfer to the employee and ensuring transparency and overall efficiency, right? So these are the key features of the employment linked incentive scheme. And you can see here, Cabinet has recently approved employment linked incentive scheme, and the total outlay would be 99,446 crore. In fact, this aims to incentivize creation of more than 3.5 crore jobs in coming 2 years. And in fact, so the benefits of the scheme would be applicable for jobs which are created between 1st August 2025 and 31st July 2027, right? So the first time employees will get a 1 month's wage up to 15,000 rupees, right? So this is the employment linked incentive scheme, and these are some features of it, and you just have to remember these features. Now we have to understand the scenario of formal employment in India. Now if you look at the definition of formal employment, so employment which is having job security, which is also providing you the social protection which is necessary, and it also covers the employees with EPFO, ESIC. So thereby it actually represents a shift from the informal work to a formal work arrangement. Now what are the current challenges that India has been facing? The current challenge is that around 80% of India's total workforce is still in the informal sector. So therefore it highlights that there is a need for schemes like employment linked incentive scheme. Now if you look at the government programs, there are a number of government programs that government has already taken, right? For example, EPFO subsidies and now the employment linked incentive. So all these programs essentially focuses on formalization of the existing bulk informal workforce, thereby addressing the long-standing employment challenges that India has been facing. Now, what is the significance of this employment linked incentive scheme? So formal jobs would improve the social security, it will boost the tax revenues, and it will also ensure the economic resilience, thereby contributing for overall economic growth and the economic development, inclusive growth and inclusive development in India. So I hope you have understood that particular topic. And next topic is Navy inducts indigenous stealth frigate. So we'll be understanding what is this stealth frigate and how it is important for the Indian Navy. And in fact, so this stealth frigate has been produced as part of Project 17A. So please remember that Project 17A is related to the Indian Navy. Now, second of Project 17A, stealth frigate, so has been handed over to Indian Navy in a record 37 months only. So therefore, it has been showcasing India's growing engineering prowess and capabilities when it comes to the ship building. And in fact, so this is a successor to Shivalik class frigates, right? So this is INS Udaygiri. INS Udaygiri. So you just have to remember, and this is the second stealth frigate which has been produced as part of Project 17A in record time of just 37 months. And INS Udaygiri is successor to Shivalik class frigates, so thereby enhancing India's naval firepower and the decision strength with advanced ships. And in fact, it also showcases India's growing military manufacturing, blue water navy capabilities, and overall contributing to economic development in the naval sector, through the naval sector. And in fact, India is even known as the net security provider in the region. So India's capabilities of net security provider in the region will also significantly strengthened by this. And this INS Udaygiri as part of Project 17A has been built by Majgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited with in-house design capabilities by a warship design bureau, thereby leveraging industrial ecosystem of the already existing indigenous manufacturers. And in fact, the INS Udaygiri actually equips with supersonic surface-to-surface missiles, medium-range surface-to-air missiles, and 76 gun, and a close-in weapon systems as well. So thereby it showcases a significant advancements in the naval technology that India has. And in fact, it also features enhanced stealth capabilities, that it is not easy to detect such ships, and state-of-the-art integrated platform management system, and superior to the earlier existing P-17 Shivalik class frigates. And this ship INS Udaygiri also incorporates extensive pre-outfitting techniques for improved efficiency. And other important details with respect to INS Udaygiri have been given here, and you can also go through it as well. And next topic is Railway has recently launched an app called Rail One app. So this is an integrated app, and we'd like to discuss about this Rail One app as well. So recently, Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav launched this Rail One app in New Delhi for offering a unified super app for smart travel solutions. And in fact, the Rail One app is considered as a one-stop platform, and that represents significant step in digital innovation for the overall railway sector. And in fact, this app is created by CRIS, the Railways IT public sector undertaking. So the CRIS is a public sector undertaking which is related to the railways, and this Rail One app will enhance the passenger services, and it also provides a one-stop platform for train travel, aiming to reduce the operational costs through the digital transformation. Now, what are the key features of this Rail One app? Now, if you carefully look at the key features of the Rail One app, so it actually offers the live tracking, it redresses the grievances of the passengers, it also provides e-catering services, porter booking, and even taxi services as well. So this is an app which provides integrated and unified services. And apart from that, it also includes services related to passenger reservation, freight enquiries, so thereby making it a comprehensive solution for all railway related needs. And in fact, it also provides a 3% of discount on unreserved and platform tickets, so with options to select seat category during the booking process as well. And in fact, it also combines all the services, thereby removing the need for multiple apps. So there's no need for the multiple apps because it provides all the services, because it is a unified platform. And this Rail One also serves as a unified super app with a user-friendly interface, and thereby requiring minimal registration for ease of use. And in fact, it even includes the railway e-wallet feature for the most convenient transactions, and it will further enhance the services for the passengers. And in fact, this app will also provide hotel suggestions for the travelers and making it a more comprehensive travel companion. So these are the essential features that will be provided by the Rail One app that has been recently launched. So that's all in this lecture, and if you have any doubts regarding this class, so please comment those doubts in the comment section and we'll address all your doubts. So thank you so much.